Hey everybody, is this South Dakota's best kept secret? I'm making this delicious Chislic that everyone's gonna love. So let's get started. If you've never been to or lived in South Dakota, then you've probably never heard of Chislic. But let me tell you, this stuff is so simple and so tasty, I think it's something that everyone should try and make at least once, and you're probably gonna love it. Now, Chislic is made with all kinds of different meats, but my favorite by far is venison. So I've pulled a nice chunk of venison out of the freezer, and the first thing I'm gonna do is trim up this silver skin and then cut this into some small kind of 3/4 inch cubes. Now that is a beautiful looking piece of venison. Well, like I said, I will cut this into smallish cubes, not super tiny cubes because I don't want to overcook this. There we go. Yeah, kind of 3/4 inch cube. That looks just about right. Well, that should be about good enough for what I want to do today. I got some nice steaks I can cut out of this piece. And now we have to season the Chislic, and it couldn't be any easier because you can pretty much do whatever you want. Salt and pepper is fine. Some people just use garlic salt. But for my South Dakotan homies, there's only one way to do this, and that is with Lowry's seasoned salt. So I'm just gonna sprinkle that, work it around, and then there is an optional ingredient that I like to use, and that is just a touch of Worcestershire sauce. That gives it some flavor, and I think it also helps color it up a little bit quicker because this isn't going to cook very long at all. So just a sprinkling of that. We'll toss this all together. And now I'm just going to pop this into the refrigerator for maybe 30 minutes while I get everything else ready. But you can prepare this a day in advance. You can make a big old batch of this. Let that soak up flavors overnight in the refrigerator, then have yourself a big old fry, and that is a ton of fun. With Chislic, the dip is just as important as the meat, and you can use whatever dip you like, of course. Blue cheese is a really popular option, and I like that a lot myself, but let me show you my favorite homemade dip, and I'm going to start with 1 chipotle pepper and some of the liquid that comes in the can with that. I'm just going to mash that up a little bit, break that whole pepper up because I don't want one big chunk of pepper in there. I'll just mash it up. All right, now to my chipotle pepper, I'm going to add in about 1/4 cup of ketchup. And about a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. Now just mix that all together, and that's it. Of course, I never actually measure any of these things, and sometimes I want a spicier dip, so I'll add in more chipotle pepper or some super hot sauce. This is where you can play some of that jazz and come up with your own unique and delicious dip. It's like the devil's barbecue sauce. Now, we are gonna fry that Chislic. So, get yourself some shortening, some peanut oil, I'm still working on this tub of lard I've been working here for a while, so good old lard is a great choice. Now I'm going to heat my oil up to 375 degrees Fahrenheit because I want a nice hot and hard fry on that Chislic to get some good color on the outside, but not overcook the inside. When you're frying your Chislic, use enough oil to cover the meat, but not a whole bunch more. The meat's got a ton of moisture on it, and when it hits this oil, it is gonna foam up like crazy. So don't overfill your pot here, or you could end up with a real mess on your hands. All right, so here we go. Very hot oil, be very careful. And there it goes. Bubbling like crazy. And now we're talking 2-3 minutes top, and this Chislic's gonna be ready. That'll do. Now I'll let these drain a little bit. Maybe just another little hit of that seasoned salt. And we'll just let those rest for a couple of minutes and we're good to go. All right, now Chislic is always served on toothpicks and most often with saltines, but I don't have any saltines, so the toothpick is gonna have to do. Oh yeah, check out that bite. Oh yeah, that is perfect. Now let me hit some of that blue cheese right there. Classic. Absolutely delicious. One thing I really like about Chislic is that this is a really honest way to taste the meat. If you just eat it straight like this with no dip, it just gives you a really great idea of the flavor and the tenderness of that deer that you got. And 2021 was a very good year. Oh yeah. Oh, now my spicy dip. So there you have it. So good, so simple. And now the weather has finally turned, so I gotta get out of here and go perch fishing. I really hope you can get out and get yourself a deer or some perch and then make yourself a meal to remember. Thanks for watching. Ooh, yeah.